Batman 66 action figures and playsets. Mattel nailed it. McFarlane failed it. Let's talk about it. Greetings, toy heads, and welcome to another episode of Go Figure with me, your host, Eli Williams, here on the Digitally Rebastard Network, the action figure show about news, reviews, collecting tips, customizations, kit bashing, everything that goes into this fun, nerdy hobby that you and I both love. And in this week's episode, I'm going to be talking about the Batman 66 action figure, toy line, and accessories. I've been tossing around doing this episode for a while now. And this is going to be a bit of a rant. I know it's going to not be very popular, and I'm probably going to get some thumbs down on this because there's a big fan base for Todd McFarlane's stuff, but I got to tell you, I absolutely despise the fact that that man has the license to make DC products. Not only that, but has the audacity to call them a 1/12 scale. They're not 1/12 scale. They're 1/9 scale. They're the same size as Migos, and Migos are 1/9 scale. So, Mr. McFarlane, you can call them 1/12 scale all you want, but they're not. Okay? I realize that there's people that really like them. I see a lot of them on TikTok. One guy in particular has a huge collection, and that's fine. If you're into them, you're into them. But I don't like them. I don't like the materials they're made out of. They're made out of a soapy material plastic. I've said this before. They're huge. They're like 7 inches tall or more. They're not in the 6-inch scale range. And yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. But I want to talk specifically about the 66 Batman, the 1966 Batman toy line. Mattel did it, and then recently McFarlane did it. In my opinion, Mattel did it far better than Todd McFarlane did. Let me just move Batgirl out of the way here, and let me grab Batman out of the Batmobile here, and let me get him out. One of the things that really pissed me off is the fact that Todd McFarlane has the license to do DC, and doesn't make 6-inch scale figures. He makes 7-inch and above figures, as I've said. But then he comes along and makes the 66 Batman scale, 66 Batman figures, and makes them in a 1/12 scale 6-inch format. And does a terrible job. I'm sorry if there's anyone out there that likes them, but he's done a terrible job. Number one, let's take a look at. You see here is the Batmobile. This is the Mattel Batmobile. I've got the Mattel Batman. Robin's over there in the passenger seat. Here's Batgirl. Now this is not, this is actually the Mattel DC Multiverse Alfred. They call it the forehead Alfred because it's got the Alan Napier head, the Michael Gough head, the comic book head, and then some creepy, weird head that I ended up using on a custom Sith Lord for a Star Wars character that I made. But I put the Alan Napier head on and put him with, now he is actually a little taller than he should be here, but this isn't actually from this line. This is Mattel, but this is from the DC Multiverse line, which they were a little bit taller. It's not 7 inches or more taller, but it's a little bit taller. Todd. So here is the Batmobile. You see how he fits in the Batmobile. This is one of my biggest problems. When I saw that come out, I thought, oh, cool, I might actually get those. I'm not even going to get started. I'm not even going to pull my soapbox out. Let me put him back in here. I'm not even going to pull my soapbox out, drape his cape down the back. I always like to do this when I was a kid, to have the cape draped down the back of the Batmobile. I don't even want to get into the superpowers figures, what he's doing there. But because even with the Superpowers figures, they're slightly bigger than the original Superpowers figure. I don't know what the guy is. He's just like, he's like the Hardys of action figure creators. He's just like, I'm gonna make mine a little bit bigger than the other ones. Why? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I get that you're trying to carve your own little niche into the action figure world, but come on, man. So here it is. This is the proper scale to the Batmobile. You put them in there, they fit all the way down in the seat. They're not poking out like the Mego figures in the Mego Batmobile. So here is this one. Now let's look at some images of. Let's look at some images of the McFarlane toy line and the Batmobile and for the Batman 66. Okay, so I pulled up some images of the McFarlane Batman 66. First off, let's just do this. Let's look at this image right here. See the problem? You see the problem? This is way more bulkier, no ab crunch. No thigh swivel right there. Too bright of a blue. I don't know why the cape is as dark as it is, darker than the cowl. Over here, now this, the cape, you can't tell from this, but it folds inward. I think they have it in this picture. I think they have it flapped back. So the cape is actually a full cape. You could actually drape it around to the front of him. You can't do that with the Todd McFarlane capes because they got these crappy capes, just like with the Superpowers figures. But that aside, Adam West was tall, thin, lanky. He wasn't big, buff, or fat like they're making him look here. I don't know. This is like a convention Adam West, you know, showing up like later on in life when he was a little bit bigger, like, you know, in the late 80s, early 90s. I don't get it. It's cool. I mean, I'll give credit where credit's due. It's cool that we're seeing people like figures like Egghead, making like the Riddler in the boxer shorts and the Joker, the Surfer Joker. Honestly, I kind of feel like that's dumb. You know, like they're making the Eartha Kitt Catwoman. That's kind of cool. The boxing ones, I just like, take them or leave them. At the very least, they did have the Batcave playset scaled up relatively decent. Well, I don't know, because that's a desk. And I don't know how many tables, the desks you've stood at where your knees or like the middle of where your thigh actually hits the top of the table, but whatever. But everything else is relatively scaled. But here's the elephant in the room. Oh, man. Okay, so here we go.
No. Wait.
Here's a shot of Batman and Robin in the Batmobile with their heads all poking out above the bubble canopy. Yeah, this is a good picture. This is pretty much what, that says it all right there. Bam. You just, you failed. You absolutely failed. Bringing this back up, here's a picture of them in the Batcave. Really? That's what you did, huh? That's the Batmobile. Car's way off scale. Way smaller than it needs to be. I would say that car is closer to 1/18th scale than 1/12th. It would be between 1/12th and 1/18th. Maybe 1/16th. It's not right at all. 1/18th it'd be too much. Probably 1/16th or 1/14th scale. Yeah. This would be a great car if it's actually if they were 3 3/4 inches tall. Yeah. like vintage Star Wars or vintage G.I. Joe. They'd fit in there great. It's kind of like the Mego Batmobile. Like when I had a Mego Batmobile when I was a kid, my superpowers, Batman and Robin, rode around in it because, the Mego Batmobile was off scale. They didn't want to make it to scale because it'd be huge. And it had to be, cost effective. But, I'm sorry to those who, here's a good shot. Here's the NECA, which I have. The NECA Adam West, which NECAs are typically like a little bit bigger. They're between 6.5 and 7 inches tall. There's the Mattel. There's the Mcfarlane. The blue's too bright. The cape's too dark. This matches, even though the way that the cape lies, making cloth good capes, putting cloth good capes on these things can be, I don't know, they kind of did a pretty good job with the NECA one. But as you can see there, the cape is kind of folded over and draped back, but you can pull it around. You can't do that. This cape looks dumb. The cape looks dumb. The colors are too bright. The gray's too bright. Like, even the difference between NECA and the Mattel, the colors are correct. It's just like with Robin. Robin's the same way. That doesn't even look like Burt Ward. I'm sorry. That just looks like some kid. The gloves are too short. You've got no thigh, outward. No thigh hinge on there going outward like you do with the Mattel. You've got that seam right there and the leg can go all the way out. You can't do that with this. I'm sorry. It's just, when I first heard about these and it was like, oh yeah, they're actually going to be 1/12 scale, legit, 6 inches tall. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I might actually get on this Todd McFarlane bet. Nope. Not the first time I saw that picture or a picture like that with them sticking out of the top of the car. That looks stupid. It looks stupid. Yeah, there's another one. Isn't that great? Wow. And it is a matter of opinion, and I know this is going to get thumbed down, but I'm sorry. It rips my heart out, the fact that McFarlane has the DC license. I just don't get it. I just flat out don't get it. I don't know why he does what he does. He brings back the superpowers line, makes them bigger than the original superpowers. He brings back the Batman 66 line, makes them, you can't say that, oh, we can't make them as articulated as the regular DC multiverse line. Yeah, you can. Mattel did it. Hasbro does it. Valaverse does it. All these other like independent toy companies that aren't like even big, massive conglomerate companies that make stuff, they're doing it. Why can't you do it, Todd? Huh? I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, so now that we've looked at the images of his stuff, let's take this. Let me just tilt this to the side here because I don't have a lot of room. But as you can see here, they fit in the car. Their heads are below the canopy bubble. Okay? They're below the canopy bubble. They're not sticking out of this thing like it's some kind of, ride you put a quarter in on the, sidewalk of a grocery store. If you're gonna make stuff in a certain scale it. This is immaculate. This is exactly the way it should have been. And until someone gets that DC license away from that maniac and starts making stuff the way that it's supposed to be made and the scale that it's supposed to be made, I would love it. And I know a lot of people don't like Hasbro. I would love it if Hasbro got the license for DC. Because I'm telling you, if they got the license for DC, that would be awesome, because we would have Marvel and we would have Hasbro producing Marvel, DC, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, and everything else that and they would all be the same scale. Indiana Jones, all that stuff, and they could all, you know, do things together and have adventures together. And, you know, you could actually have them like up on your shelf you could have, you know, Marvel versus DC, and they'd all be the same scale. So let's just say here, we'll move Alfred out of the way, and we'll move Batgirl out of the way. Let's get Batman back out of the Batmobile here, and we'll stand him up. So it's like, if it would be nice if, you know, because Mattel's, even though they are a little tiny bit taller than like Hasbro's stuff, you could still put them together, and it does still work. But if you wanted to have Batman having an adventure with Superman nowadays and with Mcfarlane, this is what you'd be dealing with. See the problem? Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell so you can get information on all the good things coming out of the Digitally Rebastard Network. You guys have a great week and a great day. I'll see you next time, and until then, don't forget to get your figure on. Screw you, Todd.